So today's topic is going to be about his perception on good luck and bad luck.
That's exactly it.
And there's a bit of what is judgment and not judgment, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Phoenix Awakened Podcast. I'm your host, Jayson.
I'm your host, Allison. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
I love it when you sing, baby.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm great singing. When Allison told me this story, I went, wow, that's really cool.
It is a really interesting concept. When I heard it, I thought it was a really interesting concept as well, because the villagers had their perception on a situation and the farmer had his own perception on the situation. And at the beginning of the story is set, I believe it's a Buddhist proverb from what I understand.
Okay.
But it was set in China from what I saw on the video. And there was a farmer that had a beautiful horse, a stunning horse. Everyone wanted the horse, including the king or emperor.
What colour was the horse?
Horse was white.
Yeah, because I keep on getting the colour
It
white.
was just like white, beautiful stallion kind of, wild and everything along those lines. The king came and wanted to purchase a horse, and the farmer said, no, it's a member of the family. It'll be like selling a member of my family. It's not for sale. So the king obviously left, not purchasing the horse. The villagers all gathered around and said, nope, you shouldn't have done that. You should sell the horse. It'll bring good luck. It'll bring some money. That's good luck and everything.
Yeah, because the emperor, it's the emperor wants the horse. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And all the wealth and everything that's attached to it.
The villagers were only thinking of the money side of things, how the money can be gained. They weren't thinking of the family sense in a way, because the farmer was like, well, this is a member of my family.
Yeah,
it'd be like selling
my friend.
It'd be like selling a member of my family. I can't do that. A few days went on. A few days later, the horse disappeared, and the villagers actually gathered around and said to the farmer, you should have sold the horse. Look what's happened now.
Bad luck.
The horse has disappeared. That's bad luck. And the farmer has said, don't judge it or don't look. It's not good luck or bad luck. It just is the way it is. So the farmer went on his way.
The villagers are like, really, mate? You're a bit of a moron.
The villagers they couldn't perceive what was going on. But then a few days later, the horse came back with 12 other horses, and the villagers gathered around and congratulated the farmer on all this good luck, because now they're thinking, yep, how can we sell all these horses and get a pretty penny and everything along those lines? And you've got so much good luck because you've got all these horses that have come back with you. Again, the farmer says it's neither good luck or bad luck. It's just the way it is.
That's how it's played out.
It's how it's played out.
So he's pretty much neutiral with the whole thing.
Pretty
just
much.
allowing the process to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And this goes on where the farmer's son was trying to, I guess you could say, tame the wild, because all these horses were wild, was trying to tame the wild horses, fell off and broke his leg. So then the villagers gathered around and said, such bad luck. Your son has broken his leg. He's the only son that you have, the only child you have, the only source of strength that can work the farm. And the farmer said, don't look at it as bad luck or good luck. Same thing. It just is as it is.
Yep.
Then the land went into war, and all the sons had to actually go to war. And the villagers were so distraught and so upset, and then gathered around the farm and said, you have such good luck because all our sons have gone to war, but you are the only one that still has your son. Because the son broke his leg, he wasn't able to go to war. And so therefore it was good luck. They perceived it to be good luck because they perceived all their sons to be dead in war.
Yeah, that's...
And so the farmer said, it's neither good luck or bad luck. It's just the way it is.
It's a great story, isn't it? Because even with Western civilization where we are, it's still the word luck, good luck, bad luck, is still used all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, you're a lucky guy, or geez, you're unlucky. Geez, that's really good luck that you've got. This bad luck, good luck thing playing out all the time. And here's this farmer back in the day talking about, well, it's not there or here, good luck, bad luck. It just is.
Yeah.
So he allowed the process for things to play out how they need to play out without him even knowing how it was going to play out. So in a way, he was always detached from the outcome.
That's exactly it. He was very neutral from the outcome. It doesn't mean to say that, you know, he doesn't care about the horses, or he doesn't care about his son, or doesn't care about how much money he's bringing in. He was just very neutral.
Yeah. And detached from the financial aspect of it as well. So what can we take from this learning of our own lives?
For me, because like I said to you before, I felt that this proverb, even though the story is saying you never believe in bad luck again kind of thing, for me it's about not making a judgment call, not labeling something too soon, and perhaps whether you perceive it to be good luck or bad luck is just a perception, because good luck is perceived as either flow or positive things happening, and bad luck is perceived as something bad happening, you know, and something bad happening could be anything to anyone. It's better, if we can, to actually be more neutral and be detached from any outcome and any situation. But that is kind of hard to, especially when you're involved in it. So for the villagers, for example, because their children, their sons had been taken off to war, they perceive that to be bad luck because they're attached to the outcome. They're attached to their children, obviously. You know, they don't want to see their children get hurt or injured or die. So for them, it was considered bad luck.
Yeah. And this farmer's got all the good luck in the world because he's detached from outcome. And, well, I know with us, we're going to say personally, well, no, I'm going to make a call and say most people will have some sort of attachment to things playing out the way they want it to play out.
Yeah.
And some things will not play out the way that they don't want to play out, but things just play out. I can quickly just go back for the last couple of years how things played out. Nobody wanted that to play out. And it's very hard to detach from all the things that played out. It evokes a lot of interesting conversation just to do with that short little story.
Yeah. And like for a lot of us, we can't help but make that judgment call.
Or that attachment to something.
Yeah. We can't help it because, like you said, we're all attached to an outcome. We all want to achieve something, and therefore we all want to see what we achieve or what we want to achieve actually manifest in reality. That's not to say that it's not going to manifest, but maybe how it manifests is going to be slightly different.
And work out better for the better?
Yeah, it could be, instead of going in a straight line, you might have to deviate and do a few things before you get to the outcome. I mean, we're good examples of this at the moment, of all the things that we want to achieve in life. However, we need to let go.
Yeah, I've had to really work on letting go a lot. And you always, at the moment, you get in your mind, trust the process.
Yeah.
Like you just get, I just got to trust the process.
And I have a very strong issue with trusting things because of a lot of spiritual and energetic stuff and interference that I've had personally.
Yeah, playing out things that are playing out.
Yeah,
or played out.
It has put me in a position where my trust is not that big at the moment. And for me to trust the process and for me to actually listen to that is a big thing, and not jump to conclusions.
Yeah, because you've become, on a level, a control freak.
I have.
And being in control means that you feel a lot more safer.
Yes, that's exactly it. And that's a really good way of explaining into the story as well. The farmer was not in control. He didn't try to control the outcome of anything. He didn't try to control the horse to stay. He just allowed the horse to do what it needed it to do. And if it came back, it will come back. He didn't control any situations. The villagers were trying to control every situation.
They lacked trust.
Yeah.
Where this farmer just allowed and just let go. In a way, he was pretty high consciousness.
In a way, yeah, he was very, very neutral, very detached, and that can go towards anything. I'm getting money. So in the story, it was actually, the beginning was about money because all the villagers wanted to gain some money, or one said to the farmer that it's bad luck if he doesn't sell the beautiful horse because of the pretty penny. And in a way, we all also have to trust our own personal process, even when it comes down to money, the money situation as well.
And we've had to go through that the last 3 years.
Yeah. So this story has a lot of underlining meanings to it. Trusting the process.
Detachment.
Neutrality. There was something else.
You've got...
Judgment.
Yeah.
That's it.
Judgment.
Yeah. Judgment. Making judgment calls. Yeah.
Before anything's had a chance to play out, really, you just instantly judge it. It's like, and instantly go to the negativity as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like that plays out, oh, that's negative. Well, maybe in that moment it might feel that way, but the bigger picture of that is it's going to work out better.
Oh, which reminds me that there was another Buddhist teaching that I was listening to as well. And they were pretty much saying, in that story, it was pretty much saying what is perceived to be bad may only be bad in that. Oh, actually, no, that's the farmer one. What is perceived to be bad may only seem to be bad in that moment, but actually might be good in the long run. And the opposite way around, what seems to be good in that moment may actually turn out to be bad in the long run. So realistically, you can't actually make... I mean, yes, we all make judgment calls, but realistically, you can't actually make a judgment call on each and every situation, whether it's good or bad, because what may seem unlucky right now might actually be
super lucky
in the future.
Yeah.
How can, in your perception and in your understanding, how can people maybe try to be more neutral?
So what comes to mind is stepping out of fear. See, fear is a really big component to all this as well, because we all step into this fear frequency. And if you step into fear, sometimes, or a lot of the time when you step into fear, you can make the wrong call or make the wrong move or make the wrong choice, which therefore can put you in the place where you really don't want to be. So I'd say getting just to pause, or just to, if you can take yourself out of that fear space, that's pretty much what I'm getting at the moment.
For me, if there's something that there's fear around, for me it's understanding why you were scared or why you're fearful of something. Because it could be, because fear usually comes in the head, it's usually, and then sometimes it's actually an emotional fear and a physical body fear, like it's all over your being. But if you can understand the perception of why you're scared of something, then having that understanding, you're able to navigate through that fear, and then in the result of that, possibly actually become more neutral in the long term.
Yeah, staying detached from it, being neutral and not buying into the fear component of it, which therefore, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's going to help you navigate in a way that is a lot more beneficial for you.
Because the fear is usually, it comes down to what people don't want to happen.
It's the worst case scenario, for example.
Yeah, exactly. So like in the story, the farmer could have feared not having money coming through, and he could have feared that his son broke his leg and not been able to help him around the farm. But he didn't slip into that fear.
No, he didn't have any fear. He just allowed... That's what I love about the story. The thing for me is that I'm getting from the story, there was no fear attached to it. It was just like, well, that's played out. Allow that to play out how it needs to play out. He didn't get in the way of anything. He just kept himself out of the way, because we're very good at sabotaging ourselves or being in our own way. We all do this a lot, and sometimes you won't get a lot of information or told a lot of information about the future, for example, because if you do, you might sabotage it or step in the way of it.
That's exactly
And I've
it.
heard somebody say, I don't know, it was a galactic or somebody saying, you humans, if you know too much, you'll get in your own way and sabotage it
And
for the best outcome to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And we do, because if we get told, oh, this is going to happen in 6 months, we would do everything to make sure that it happens. But what if that's actually not supposed to how it plays out? What if you're supposed to do something else and then that outcome was supposed to happen? But if you know the outcome, we trip ourselves up.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to control the outcome.
Yes.
Instead of allowing the outcome to be what it needs to be.
You know, you can still have the intention of what you want to create, but you shouldn't control it just because there's some things that you won't know how to. It's like the little details.
Yeah.
It's like I feel that we're trying to control the absolute little details of everything instead of just going with the flow a lot more for the best outcome. I think we've talked about this on many, many podcasts. We've been pummeled a lot through the ages as humanity, and I think in a way we've been squashed with trusting and letting go. We've been trained or programmed to control. Like I think we're all a bit control freaks, which is not beneficial for us.
No, not for us. Possibly for something else, but not for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't have the understanding. You know how I said, well, I got the word being?
Yeah.
Well, this can actually come into the conversation as well, because we don't all have the understanding of just allowing things to be.
No.
Just to let it be in what it needs to be because of the whole outcome attached to the outcome.
Yeah, it's bringing up a lot of stuff within me, this conversation, because, you know, I've had to really work. I'm a bit of a control freak.
Hands up.
Yeah, we're both a bit of a control freak because of our experiences. So we're trying to, in many, many ways, trying to control our environment, keep it clear and this and that. But there's still parts of us that want to control things so we are safe.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a bit of a paradox, isn't it? Because within this reality, there is a duality playing out, and it's hard to trust the process when it comes to the duality playing out. And that's the trust thing of that is really, at times, can be really challenging. So I'm finding this topic a bit of I love it and I agree with it wholeheartedly, but I've got this inner thing, tug of war going on about, get it, but what about this, and this?
So tell me about the tug of war that's going on.
Wanting to be like the farmer and trust 100% the process of life, but because of my experiences, which have not been, a bed of rose petals, it's sort of programmed me in a way, or not maybe programmed, but it's put me in a way of I do lack trust at times, and the process of the trust, because we're being pummeled a lot.
Yeah.
It's taken away the
beauty of
the beauty, the magic of it,
the
spontaneity of it. And to get back into that at times, it can be very challenging. And I know listeners out there and people who are watching will understand what I'm saying, because I feel like everybody is going through what we're talking about and would like to trust more, but there's circumstances of that, letting go and detaching and not being in control of everything. It's a very challenging thing to do at times.
I think because people in our field, and there's a lot of people in our field that have gone on that trust process. Because as soon as you step into the new age community or the spirituality community, we have been taught that you need to trust the universe.
Yes.
And trust your guides, and guides know better, and because they have a higher perception of it. But there have come times when we have discovered, and people that we also know that have discovered, that a lot of beings, even though that they have a high perception and they may have a good heart and stuff, also have their own agenda.
Many, not all.
And there are a lot of beings out there as well that will distract you and mislead you down a different path that they want to create. And I think that's where the lack of trust comes in as well. Yeah. Because when you discover that there's something out there that is trying to distract you and mislead you, you start questioning, where can I put my trust?
Yeah. Yeah, the trust thing is a very interesting one when it comes to trusting the process of a lot of things, especially when it comes down to money, survival, all that sort of stuff. That's when things get really interesting.
And it's interesting how we started to talk about trusting the process, and that stemmed from the farmer, in a way, trusting the process of his own life without judging whether the horses have run away and whether his son has broken his leg. He's just allowed and trusted the process to be beneficial for him in the long run.
I'd like to put out there for people who are, I guess, watching on YouTube and listening on a podcast, if you can get an opportunity to do a comment. Does anyone out there have trouble trusting and be detached from the processes of life and just going with the flow? Because I know there'd be people out there who are like, yeah, but I totally 100% trust, and I trust the process 100%, and I just allow things to be. But I feel that there'll be a lot of people out there that be the opposite to that. You can leave a comment if you're one of these people that trust 100% and just like, yep, just let it go, no problems. And people who are like, no, I'm like you guys, I struggle a lot too, trusting the process and being detached, and yes, I need to control everything. And that'd be interesting to find out.
So we can learn a lot from this farmer about just being, allowing.
Because that'd be a way of life, wouldn't it?
It would be a way of life. And in a way, it's a lot more freeing. Not trying to control everything, not trying to restrict everything so that certain outcome actually happens. Because what if you're controlling everything and you're so afraid of good luck and bad luck that you miss an opportunity that might actually bring a really beneficial good luck?
In my mind, I'm getting, this is surface stuff on a level, because let's really go down the path of drama.
Okay.
What happens if there's a farmer that's just like now in 2023, he's lost all their crops, all his crops, he's lost all his crops, or the government's shut down the whole farm, and he just has to go, well, it is what it is. I just have to let it go. I got no money, no livelihood. The farm is being in my family for, 5 generations.
It's easier said than done. It absolutely is easier said than done, because we had to do that as well. We went through throwing our hands up and go, okay, this is a situation. We can only do what is the best for us. And we lived 10 months of trying to figure out and we tried to control and tried not to control.
Yeah, we did experimentation on that.
We had 10 months of having to, I guess, trust the process as well.
It was very interesting.
It was a very challenging time. And I guess, and that will go for anyone like your farmer that's gone, okay, well, I've got no money coming in. The crops are done. The soil's done. The farm's done. Okay, now what do I do?
Well, Mr. Farmer, you just got to trust the process and see what happens.
And it's, again, a lot easier said than done. I mean, even the proverb of this farmer, talking about it now, it sounds a lot easier said than done.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess back then...
It's great on paper. It's great to read. But the practicality of it... I keep on cutting you off. Sorry, baby.
Yeah, no.
But the practicality of it is, it's a very different...
It is very different. And it wouldn't matter whether it's from ancient times to nowadays. Just because it's a different century or something along those lines, they still need to make money. They still need to provide for their family. They still need to survive. They still need to live. They need to eat. It wouldn't matter if it was ancient China, ancient Tibet, ancient Greece to now.
No, really, to a certain point, human history, when finances and money came to be, that's when the trading started. A long time ago now, there's a lot more to it than what that story is talking about.
But it's still a good story.
It's still a great story, and it's still a great thing to think about and implement as much as you can into your own life.
Yeah.
And maybe bit by bit, you get on that wave of trust and letting go and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I still feel like it's something that we can implement in a day-to-day life, and it doesn't have to come down to finances, but it could come down to, I don't know, something just a little bit more simpler,
They say the simple things in life are simply the best.
even down to, petrol. I don't know. I don't know why I came up with petrol, but maybe down to petrol.
No, go into that. So what are you saying about petrol? So no petrol, can't go to work, can't earn money.
No. I was actually thinking of going to a petrol station and it's like, far out. Petrol's gone up by $5.
Oof.
Just as an exaggeration. It's like, well, if I don't put petrol in, then I'm not going to, be able to drive around. It's something along those lines. It's like being neutral of the price along those lines.
Do I buy petrol or do I buy food?
Yeah. Well, that's a bit of a topic, isn't it? Do you buy petrol or food? But it's something along those lines. It's like trying to be neutral out of everything. Even it goes down to being neutral into your family drama. If you can be neutral into your family drama, that's great. But I think the key part about it is if we can try to be less attached to the outcome of anything. I think that is the main key and the main understanding, and not to label everything as good luck or bad luck, really. Because...
Yeah, black or white.
Yeah, because there's a lot of grey in between.
There is.
And sometimes if you're so focused on the bad luck, like you say, you can actually attract more bad luck into your reality.
Yeah, what you pay attention to, you will draw to you.
Yeah, it's like the story of the good wolf and the bad wolf. Which one are you going to give more energy to?
Yes.
The anger or the love?
Yeah, which one are you going to feed?
Yeah, that's what I take from the story of the farmer.
So be mindful what you pay attention to, and if you get yourself into a bit of a pickle, not to keep on feeding into it. Yes, there's going to be a moment of fear or attached to that fear and that outcome.
Sorry to cut you off. Don't be toxic positivity. If there is fear, address it the best way you can. Don't just sweep it under the rug.
Yeah, do what you can to look at it.
Yeah.
Some things are a little bit more harder to look at than not.
Yeah.
But if you can, get a bit of courage and go, okay, I'll look at it now. And, okay, let's sort of do an analysis or break it down a little bit so we can process it a little bit more easier, that we're not stepping into 100% more fear. Whatever it is that you need to do, look at it. Try to look at it. I guess also we talk a lot about practicality.
Yeah.
So practicality is a really good one. So what are the practical steps that I need to do? What's practical, what's not practical at this time? And then look at it that way as well. Try to, not ground the drama, but try to ground yourself where when you're in fear, you step out of your body a lot. So with a lot of stuff going on, it's overwhelming, life's too much. You step out of your body a lot. So then you can't really make the decisions that need to be made. If you can bring yourself back into your body.
What I'm getting from that is I'll see if I can pronounce the word right.
I know the word that you're trying to say.
Oh, what is it? Section off. Let's just say section off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. All of a sudden the word's gone. But I
got the word, but I can't pronounce it. Mentalize or something.
Compartmentalize it or something. Everything's got its own little room in your head, let's say. What you can do, if there's a big drama playing out in your family and you're scared of talking to a family member because there was a huge fight playing out or something along those lines, maybe instead of looking at the whole thing, do the small steps first to try and overcome this argument or this chaos or discomfort in the family member.
Or take yourself out of that low frequency and go somewhere where it's a little bit more nicer, like go for a walk or go to the beach or do something which will take you out of that lower frequency. With anything, so take yourself out of that for the moment so you can regroup, get your stuff together, and then start to put it together again and do the steps that need to be made.
Yeah.
And there will be, at times, needing to let go. Or you can just do this. Oh, bugger it. I'll just let go of it all. I just can't fix it. I don't know what to do. I'll just let it go. Because that's what the farmer was saying. He just let it go.
Yeah, he's pretty much saying, let it go. Don't judge it. Just, it is what it is. The horse is gone. So be it.
Can't do anything about it unless I start, get onto my other horse and start sort of tracking it down.
My son broke his leg. At least he's alive. Don't judge it.
Yeah, okay. So I'm getting,
the leg will heal.
as you're saying that, you got your health, for example. If something's played out, it's like you can do the positive stuff. So the farmer's child has broken his leg, but he's alive. So focus on the positive stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Work on the positive stuff. So don't feed the bad wolf, feed the good wolf. So the positive stuff. He's got his life. His leg's mending. Everything's okay. So we just process that and just let go of that. That's all good. So maybe we need to, when something's playing out big, maybe we start to focus on.
Because a lot of us do that. There'll be an event that happens in our life, or many events that happen in our life, and there might be just one small thing that we all focus on the negative. Instead of focusing on the positive, we focus on the negative. Say, for example, like a YouTube channel, there's all these comments, all positive comments, you're doing great, or I love what you're doing, but there might be one person that just says, you know what, you suck.
Yeah, you're talking crap. Go and get medicated.
Yeah.
You're on drugs.
Exactly. If you let that one small comment affect you, then you can spiral out of control.
If you let it, yeah.
If you let it. So that's a really good example where you've got 500 comments of telling you positive stuff that they love you, and then you've got one comment or a couple of like one or two comments that are just really negative. A lot of people would focus on the negative instead of actually seeing all the beautiful positive stuff.
Yeah, well, I had a couple of those on Jayson Infinite Magic with the Healing Channel. Most of the comments have been really nice, but there's been a couple that have been funny. But I could have taken those couple of comments to heart and gone, spiraled down, Then it's like, no, just allow it, because people have got their own opinions. People are free to, if they need to criticise, then that's okay. Just allow them to be. But it's your job not to allow that to hurt you or to spiral you down or feed the bad wolf.
And that's exactly what the farmer did. The farmer allowed the villagers to have their own perception, because he can't take away their perception, but he doesn't need to buy into their perception either. No. He doesn't need to buy into their judgment, into what they say is right or wrong.
No, we all have judgments of ourselves and each other, because you know you more than anybody else knows you. So you know what kind of person you are. And
it is a lot easier said than done. And I think that stems down to, on a reality base in society, in today's society, we all want to be loved. We all want to be accepted. So therefore, if we all can get triggered by something that someone has said poorly about us, and because humans are all, we are social beings, and we want to be a part of something. Sometimes it is a lot easier said than done to just allow people to have their say, because we can't help but be emotionally affected by a negative comment. Possibly because we don't all know who we truly are on a level. Whereas this farmer, like you said, higher conscious perception just didn't allow people to bother his inner being. Just didn't allow other people's comments, other people's words to affect him.
You just allowed them to be who they need to be, and he just went on his little way and trusted in the process and did well out of it.
So I would love that for everyone, if we can all somehow figure out how we can actually allow ourselves to be, even if someone is making a judgment call, and try not to judge anything yourself, or what is good luck and bad luck, or what is good and what is positive and negative, because like I said, what could be positive now might be negative in the long run, and what is negative now might be positive in the long run. For example, there is an agreement, or like two businesses are going, yep, we love what we want to be in partnership with you guys, and one business is like, yep, awesome. The other business is like, yep, awesome. However, one business has pulled out. That could be considered bad luck or a negative thing for the other business that wanted to be fully into it, but that could actually be a positive thing in the future, because the company that's pulled out might have filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah, you just don't know.
No.
Yeah, the big picture is it could have been very beneficial and positive.
Yeah, exactly. It might have been more beneficial and positive in the long run, but in the now moment, it just seemed like a really bad thing for the company that was left stranded.
Yeah, it's like me getting people that want to booking for healings. And early on, I used to, excellent, great. And then they pull out. And I'm like, what do you mean you pulled out? 5 clients down to 1. I used to get a little bit upset over it. I used to blame me. Oh, what have I done? Have I said something wrong? Have I done that? And this has been happening recently. People are booking in and then like, oh, sorry, can't do it now. And somebody else like, oh, sorry, it's been 2 weeks since I got back to you. Now I'm just like, I don't care. You guys do you. If you really want to come and see me for healing, you need to do the little commitment thing and book it in and then honour that. But other than that, I just like...
Let it go.
Let it go. Bit like, I can do the farmer thing with that. It's like, that's cool. Just let it go, move on. Because maybe there's stuff going on with them or there's energies interfering or whatever it is.
And yeah, a lot of the time it could just be, we don't know what's happening with other people a lot of the time.
Well, that's the thing as well.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on with that person or the villagers, what's going on in their minds.
Yeah. So love the story of the farmer. Sometimes easier said than done. However, if we can incorporate non-judgment, detachment,
let go of fear. As much as we can. All those.
As much as we can. That would be awesome.
Let go, everyone, and be free.
And just be.
And
be happy with yourself.
Be happy with yourself. You are enough.
Yeah, you are enough.
Why don't you finish up before we go your story that you got on your arm?
Oh.
Without crying. So listen to this, everyone. Alison's got this written on her arm. From Winnie is it from Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah, it's from Winnie the Pooh. And I'm already tearing up because I love this so much. Whenever I have gone through a really tough time, about 5 years ago, I found this thing on Etsy. I loved it so much that I actually turned it into a canvas. And then again, went through a tough time probably about a year ago. I think it was about a year ago. I actually got this tattooed on myself as well because this is how much I love it. I changed a few things. Like I changed a couple of words to make it more personal for me and also personal for the reader, whoever reads the tattoo. But everything else is pretty much the same. So I'm going to try not to cry in this one. Pretty much how I have it on my arm is, I am braver than I believe, I am stronger than I seem, I am smarter than I think, and I am loved more than I know. In the Winnie the Pooh one, it's pretty much, you are braver than you believe, you are stronger than you seem, you are smarter than you think, and you are loved more than you know.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And I tear up every single time.
Did well getting it out.
Thanks, baby. Every single time. Yeah.
I think when we do the editing and the description, I think we can write that out for people to read.
Yeah. For me, it has gotten me through so much.
It's beautiful.
It's gotten me through so much.
Well, thank you for sharing that. There's somebody out there that might need that.
We hope that you enjoyed our conversation today. If you can, like we said, try not to judge anything and just allow things to be. Sometimes it's harder than sometimes it's just hard. We understand that, especially when there's hurtful, emotional things involved. However, if you can try to detach and just allow things to play out how it needs to play out, we understand what you're going through because we are also had to we also had to go through similar things as well. But thank you very much for listening to our conversation.
And if you like what we are doing, please subscribe, ring the bell, give us a like. And at the same time, we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and a couple of other little podcast platforms, on TikTok, Facebook. We're pretty much everywhere at the moment. And we're just here to share the love, share the good vibes, and if we can share some intelligence, that'd be great. we do try this a lot. Yeah, thank you so much for listening and watching, and we are sending you all love and blessings. Until next week.
Bye.
Ciao. Bye.